How's it going, guys? Welcome back to LIGMA. And I couldn't really think of a joke, so just LIGMA ball. This is the show where you, the viewer, can email me literally any questions that you have within reason. You can still email me the question, even if you think it might not be in reason, and I'll just not answer it if it's not a reasonable question. My goal with this show is to just simply be able to provide help. Maybe my help falls on deaf ears. Maybe, you don't really find my videos helpful. That's okay. As long as I help, or hopefully, motivate one or maybe two people, then that is all I'm really trying to do here. Today's question is the first question that we have from the email address. The email address that you can email any questions to is on the screen right now. This question is from Brad, and he asks, how do I make YouTube videos? This is a pretty simple question that I could expand into talking with you for literal hours about. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to instead share with you guys what I personally do with my YouTube videos, and hopefully that can be a kind of starting point. Maybe you can get some ideas from how I do the creation of my videos. I'm going to literally go over the abbreviated full process of how I make YouTube videos. So let's go ahead and get into that. The first thing I like to do is I like to have an idea for my title, and I like to have a rough draft of my thumbnail made. I literally just rough draft my thumbnail in MS Paint. Okay, I don't do anything fancy at all. The rough draft of my thumbnail literally just gives me an idea of where I want to position assets on the thumbnail, and the title is not always final, but a lot of the times the idea for my video typically comes with the title for my video. So I usually have an idea of what I want to call the video and what I want the thumbnail to look like. After I have that idea, if the video doesn't need to be scripted, I just go ahead and film stuff. But if the video does need to be scripted, I write all of my video scripts in Obsidian. It's this really, really awesome tool that I'm actually planning on making a Timmy Productions video about soon, just because it is that good of a tool. It is that big of a game changer for my YouTube videos. It has made writing actually fun again. Writing used to be this process that I dreaded because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to sync notes between my, between all of this. I'm gonna have to manually do this. Obsidian literally does all of that. I have it synced to my iCloud drive, so I can literally make an edit on my computer, and within like 5 seconds I could open that document on my phone or iPad and it would be updated. It is awesome. It is really, really nice. I kind of sidetracked there. I write everything in Obsidian, and then after I write, I record. So whether that be I am recording gameplay and then adding voiceover to it, or literally just shooting a talking head video like my movie reviews that I make on Timmy Talks Movies, those are usually loosely scripted. They're kind of outlined of key points that I want to make in my video, and then I will simply record. I simply talk to the camera. I take however long it needs to. Usually I do 2 or 3 takes of most stuff just to have good takes. Obviously of LIGMA I only do 1 take just because I want this to be as authentic as I can possibly make it. I don't want to have this be a hyper produced series just because I feel like that kind of knocks the credibility and knocks the genuineness of what I'm trying to get across. Once I film it, If B-roll is necessary, I shoot B-roll with my phone or with my camera, depending on the quality. If it's a sponsored video, that's a completely different topic for another day. After I record everything, I slap all of that footage in DaVinci Resolve. To any of those YouTubers that say that Premiere Pro is the only editing software that you need to learn, I do admit Premiere Pro does have a larger knowledge base on YouTube. There are a lot more tutorials on Premiere Pro, but DaVinci Resolve is free, bro. It's free. Please, I'm begging you, if you're on the fence about it, especially if you don't just have the money that you can throw at Premiere Pro or that you can throw at Adobe Creative Cloud, please use DaVinci Resolve. There are lots of tutorials. After I edit the video fully in DaVinci Resolve, then I actually sit down and take as long as I need to make the thumbnail. So this is where basically I pull up the rough draft of the thumbnail, I pull up my color wheels for complementary colors, and I do not use Photoshop for my thumbnails. I used to, but again, I try not to be in the Adobe loop. I try not to be captured by them. I make my thumbnails in Affinity. So Affinity, I had the paid version of Affinity. I had Affinity Photo 2. And they just recently came out with their free version, and the free version, in my opinion, is just as good. It's just as good, and the fact that I already have Canva Pro anyway with my one job is really, really nice, because that allows literally baked into Affinity a lot of the Canva AI tools, which I don't use the Canva AI tools for generative stuff. I don't generate assets with it. But the object selection and the background removal with Canva AI is a lot better than the auto object selection tool. It makes the edges a lot smoother. There is an auto object selection tool that just uses your GPU to analyze the image in Affinity, but I substantially prefer the Canva AI one, just because, again, it is a lot more accurate and it always smooths the edges a lot better. So after I make that thumbnail, I go ahead, render the video out in DaVinci. I actually do that when I finish editing, but I render that video out, and depending on the video, I typically make an A thumbnail and a B thumbnail just to run that thumbnail test on YouTube. It's a free tool that YouTube includes. You know, why would you not take advantage of it when you can? I do that. I make the 2 thumbnails, and then I upload it. I upload the thumbnail. I upload all the information. I kind of half-butt the SEO of my videos. I am personally of the opinion that, you know, you don't have to super hyper-fixate, hyper-focus on SEO. Either the algorithm's going to pick it up or not. I spent a lot of time when I was a little younger worrying about the algorithm, and it wasn't very healthy, so I try my best not to worry about it a ton now. But I get that uploaded fully, and that a lot of people think that, like, your videos end once you upload them. No, they don't. Occasionally, you need to change descriptions. Occasionally, you might want to rework a title. Occasionally, you realize, oh, that thumbnail's not good. I could iterate on that better. Remake thumbnails. Make thumbnails better. Just try and make your content better. And I know that's kind of a blanket statement, but I try and advance my content and make things better as much as I possibly can. So that is a very, very grossly oversimplified version of what I do with pretty much all of my videos. Again, I don't write every single video. I don't write these LIGMA episodes. I don't write a lot of my gaming stuff. It just kind of happens. And that is pretty much how I make videos. It is just, you know, come up with the idea, write it if it needs to be written, record it, then edit it, then make the thumbnail. With the idea, make the thumbnail, rough draft, and title, and then upload it. After that, after you've fully made the thumbnail and fully, you know, done any research that you need to, then you know, I upload it. And that is pretty much how I, again, gross oversimplification, but that is how I make YouTube videos. That is how a lot of the videos on my main channels come to fruition. So I I greatly appreciate you watching up to this point. Brad, I hope that I was able to, answer your questions, and I hope that I was able to be helpful, maybe give you some ideas for a starting point if you're making videos or if you're considering making videos. So I thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe here to Timmy Bug, and subscribe to Timmy Bug Talks Movies if you're interested in movie stuff and you want to know more about that. And also, email LIGMApodcast@yahoo.com. I believe that's the email address, but I'll go ahead and put it on the screen as well. Email that if you have any questions about YouTube, about anything. I have a lot of different interests, and I will absolutely answer a question out of my butt if I need to, if I have no idea what the answer to said question is. Thank y'all again so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.